As always, it's a pleasure being here to share some information.
All right. My name's Michael. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center, the great Capital Recovery Center.
And I'm Karen, also a recovery coach.
All right. Nice.
Look, we got captions here.
Oh, we stepped up the game. How y'all doing out there today?
Yeah,
We got a lot in store for you guys today. We just got a lot of things that we're going to go over today. Again, my name is Michael. Let's see what we got. We're going to do announcements first. We can do our announcements if y'all want.
Alright, so tomorrow is Wear Purple Day. And I'm going to read a little information about where it's coming from. It says here, NCADD, the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, proclaimed that April 2021 is Alcohol Awareness Month and declared April 16, 2021 as Wear Purple Day. And it says purple was chosen by NCADD because it is a color similar to the amethyst. According to NCADD, amethyst is the most beautiful and valuable form of quartz. The word amethyst comes from the Greek without drunkenness, and in ancient times, anyone carrying this stone could not become intoxicated. By wearing amethyst, a person announces that they know someone whose life has been improved through alcoholism treatment. So we encourage everyone to wear purple on Friday.
Wear purple. Wear your purple.
Oh,
And, go ahead.
yeah. I just like to make this announcement,
Go
if
ahead.
I may. If you guys see me with purple on tomorrow, just know that I didn't sleep in my same purple outfit. All right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But so tomorrow we have our walk at 11 o'clock downtown Bristol at the Salvation Army. We will be walking. So if you want to be a part of that, please come join us.
And wear your purple.
And wear your purple. Take pictures. If you can't, come participate in the walk. How about this? How about you take some pictures and support people that have overcome alcoholism and who are currently struggling with alcoholism. Wear your purples, post some pictures, and tag Capital Recovery Center in if you would like.
Hashtag Wear Purple Day.
Hashtag Wear Purple Day.
Where we going to be located, guys?
At downtown Bristol, at the Salvation Army on East Commerce Street. All right, with that, we got a lesson today called The Importance of a Safe Addiction Recovery Environment. The importance of a safe addiction recovery environment we got it from the website Diamond House Detox. They have some great resources on there that we always look for different resources because we know that we are dealing with multiple pathways of recovery. And we try to get things that we can discuss. If you have any questions that you would like us to discuss live, you can comment on the live screen on Facebook, or you can go to the link and you can join us on the back end where no one will know who you are and participate in the meeting. All right, you want me to read?
Sure, why not, Mike?
All right, the importance of a safe addiction recovery environment. This is very good. Did you know that addiction changes a person's brain chemistry? The addictive brain puts systems in place to protect the addiction and keep the addict returning to the substance or behavior. Wow. Man, I don't even know if I can get past that. Did you know the addictive brain puts systems in place to protect the addiction and keep the addict returning to the substance or behavior? And this is important because I often talk about or discuss with individuals about feeding your brain new information. And when you feed your brain new information, the new information eventually will override your old information that you have or your addictive brain. But to overcome addiction is not only the inner environment that must be restructured, but the external as well. That goes into your word.
Holistic.
Come on now.
Holistic.
There you go. Hey, it's not just one part.
Yeah, it's internal and external.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is very important because a lot of times, well, my mentors that I have, you could call them sponsors or whatever. I always call them mentors. I used to go to different programs and always have the same person that tried to mentor me. And he used to say I was a dressed up trash can.
That's funny. Craig said that earlier.
Yeah, I got it from him.
Yeah. Hey, good. And the reason why he said that is because my external, well, when I went away or when I got off drugs or went to a program or jail, wherever I went, my external will restore or come back quick. I would physically be in shape. They'd be like, man, you know, you don't look like what you've been through. However, I didn't change anything internal. So he used to say, you ain't nothing but a dressed up trash can, because I hadn't worked on anything. And this is important. It says, but to overcome addiction, it's not only the inner environment that must be restructured, but the external as well. So you got to remember, it's two different things that have to go on, and they must go on at the same time. All right. Are you struggling to beat your addiction? That's a question out there. Are you struggling to beat your addiction, but still living in an addict's life? It's hard enough to change what's inside while everything on the outside still points you back towards addiction. When recovering from addiction, the state of your recovery environment is just as important as the treatment you receive. This is a real good stuff here, Mr.
You know what I like about it? You know, we used to have this saying, you know, a shiny car on a dirty block.
Shiny car on a dirty block.
You know, like Mike was saying, he used to, dressed up
trash can.
A dressed up trash can.
Ain't working on nothing.
Yeah, and so the external part may be looking good. You might have a brand new outfit on, shoes might be brand new, your haircut and everything. But inside, you know, you might still be polluted. Yeah. And so this article tried to address both aspects of recovery.
And the importance of your recovery environment. It's very important about the environment that you put yourself in. I don't believe, or I don't ever want to get to a place where I consider myself to have arrived. And what that means is I don't want to get the years I have from using any substance and feel like, well, now I can go hang out in the crack house. That's just some place I just never want to get to. However, you have to remember you have to have a safe addiction recovery environment in order for you to maintain your success. So when it says when recovering from addiction, the state of your recovery environment is just as important as the treatment you receive. I gotta keep saying that because a lot of times it's awesome that I'm able to use my own life multiple times before I actually got it right. Meaning maintaining my sobriety or the 10 or 13 years I have now, I failed. One of the things I will always do was whenever I got clean, I will always want to go around my friends and show them, look at me now. And I will get around their environment, and right before it got dark, right before the sun went down, my eyes was like this. I was high. And that's because I kept going around that environment. And we're talking about a safe addiction recovery environment. No matter what stage you might be in, make sure you have a very safe environment.
Yeah, I was telling somebody earlier, me and her was having a discussion, one of the co-workers, and I was telling her that it's important to remove yourself from the environment because if you play in the mud, you're bound to get dirty.
That's right.
And so you want to change your environment. So this article is going to touch on some of that, I believe.
All right. Who want to read? Pick up next page.
All right. I believe it's your current environment promote using. All right. And so the addiction is the center of the addict's life. Just as their brain is restructured to allow for addiction, The addict has built everything else in their life around the addiction as well. Let me read that again.
Yeah, come on.
But that was very interesting. The addiction is the center of the addict's life. Something that me, myself, I'm in recovery, and that was a lifestyle that I was accustomed of doing each and every day. And it says, just as their brain is restructured to allow for addiction, the addict has built everything else in their life around the addiction as well.
We was just talking about that. Remember I was saying that there's an imaginary world.
Yeah.
When you are struggling with, and this is for everybody, if you're struggling with something, you create this particular world where as though you won't go outside of that world, meaning you only want to you only want people in your environment that's doing what you're doing. You only want to have people in your environment that you're able to purchase the things that you struggle with from, or that you can give it to them, or this particular world is like a bubble and you create this world, imaginary world. Like I can't go outside the realm of this particular world. That's why if you know when you get incarcerated or something or locked up at the moment, instantly you get sick. You start withdrawing. Why is that possible? Because you already know you are being taken from that world. And that world no longer exists where you are about to go. So you got to remember that.
Mm-hmm. All the people you see, places you go, and things you have been set up around your habit. I don't like how that sounds. All the people you see, places you go, and the things you do have been set up around your habit. Mm-hmm. All the reasons that cause you to start or keep your addiction are still hanging around in your old life. Mm-hmm. And all the triggers, the things or situations that have pushed you to relapse over and over again are still there. People, places, and things.
People, places, and things.
That is so important because if you don't remove yourself from people, places, and things, this article is going to touch on that in a little bit, but that's so important. You can't expect to overcome an addiction if you're still living an addict's life. Living that way is one of the main things that has kept you addicted. It's why many recovering addicts keep falling into relapse. Your recovery environment can't be the same as your addicted environment. Overcoming addiction will require a major overhaul of your external environment, one centered around recovery instead of addiction. If recovery is going to be your new normal, it will require a completely different type of life.
It will require a completely different type of life. And we were talking a while ago about fear and things like that, but one of the things that a lot of individuals, or you might be experiencing, is living a different lifestyle than the lifestyle that you used to live. I am here to tell you that it's a beautiful thing. The life that I used to live cannot compare to the life I live today. So that completely different lifestyle, don't be afraid of it. Get comfortable once you start living a different lifestyle from the lifestyle you used to live when you were using whatever substance or alcohol you was using. Once you start to live a different lifestyle, you have to get comfortable with it, and you will have thoughts like, why am I basically going to stay clean? Why am I doing this? Or I can do one more. All those thoughts are normal. I know you probably thought you were special and thought you was the only one got those thoughts. But no, that comes to everybody that comes to every person that is trying to live a different lifestyle. Because remember, if you go all the way back about how the addiction tries to play in your brain, that addictive brain tries to get you to come back to it. Again, remember, your environment is everything. Your environment is just as important as the treatment you receive.
And also for a lot of you new beginners, those who just starting out in addiction and those who going through relapse stages, you know, you might say, well, I'm still young, I'm still experimenting, you know, it ain't gonna happen to me, it can't happen to me. Well, listen here. I'm here to tell you it can happen to you.
Yeah, because nobody plans to be a crackhead.
Right, nobody plans to be a crackhead,
that's
or
what I want to do.
alcoholic, or whatever
Terminology
that people use. Remember, and also let's stress this because they have a thing they call fentanyl. They have a substance called fentanyl, and it's really taking a toll, especially in the opioid community.
Yes.
And so we do what we call knock and talk, and there are some people who have overdosed just because they thought their system was stronger than the substance, and some people have fatally left their loved ones alone.
Yeah.
So this thing is very serious, and it needs to be taken seriously.
And if you're out there right now and you are in need of going to some particular treatment, call us 856-391-7449. You can contact us and we will help you get into a treatment facility. We guarantee it. I always say I guarantee it because we can find treatment for anybody. You just have to be willing to go. That's all you need to do. If you're out there and you find yourself in a situation right now and you feel like quitting, giving up, and you possibly have suffered the relapse, we telling you, if you hear us right now, you have an opportunity to change the direction of your life and totally live a different life, completely from the life that you are currently living. If that's anybody out there, come on in. What's up, Mr. Brandon? We got Mr. Brandon here, you guys.
Welcome back.
All right, Brandon, how you doing, man? He's always tuning in whenever he's at work or whenever. He's a very good guy. Who's going to read next? Where we at?
Your recovery environment needs less stress. Negative emotional states like stress, depression, and anxiety are major contributing factors to the addiction cycle. One of the first things that must be addressed when restructuring your life for recovery is how to properly handle stress. Take a look at your life and determine what your biggest sources of stress are. See what you can do to reduce stress in these areas first. 2 common sources of stress are taking on more work than you can handle or procrastinating what needs to be done until work piles up. See what you can do to prioritize your life to avoid these stressors. Eliminate or delegate tasks where you can and take care of important tasks right away.
Eliminating and delegating tasks is a very important thing that we have to get into our lives when we coming out of the lifestyle of addiction, is because we put too much on ourselves and then we get burnt out. And then the first thing, when we don't have coping skills, one day we're going to do a teaching on coping skills, and I'm going to get all my knowledge from coping skills from Miss Karen. I want to know everything she did to not do the things that I did, and we're going to use those same knowledge that she had used or whatever thought she had, and that's called coping skills. But when you take too much on yourself, you need to learn how to delegate or give tasks out to other individuals, because when you're trying to live a different lifestyle that we are talking about and you put too much on your plate, like my man told me, when you got too much on your plate, you get burnt out. When you get burnt out, you look for a resource to take away the stress. What do you go to take away the stress? Normally it was a substance. And if you don't have a whole bag of coping skills, then the process is going to be stunning. And you need to understand that eliminating and delegating tasks is a very important cycle in the process of recovery.
It says stretching, diaphragmatic. Was I there? Or
No, restructure
your life to avoid as many stresses as you can. For stressors you can't avoid, learn effective de-stressing techniques.
Restructuring your life. That is so. I listen to me. If you restructure to some of the things you have in your life, you will actually make your life a lot better. But in order for you to do that, you have to pause, sit back, pull over and park if you have to. Think about what you have on your plate in your life. Restructure it so you can be the most effective person in whatever field you go into. If I'm over here doing something, I don't want to give 80%. I have to give 100%. If I'm working on my spiritual development and my recovery walk, I can't give it 80%. I have to give it 100%. So in order for me to give 100% in everything that I want to do in my life, I had to do some restructuring. And you're going to have to do the same thing too. And this is important because of the environment you put yourself in.
Oh, so before we go a little further, it just brings me back to when I was incarcerated. I used to attend groups called behavioral modification, and one of the techniques that we used to use as a group, desensitization. I see where it says de-stressing techniques, and so some people might not be familiar with what desensitization techniques or behavioral modification is. It simply is just like Mike said, pause and take a walk or breathing exercise, or just listen to some calm music. You know, if you feel yourself tense or feel yourself as getting to a level whereas you may become out of control. And so those techniques help you to bring yourself down, think about and process the information, and then start anew.
Behavior modification. I ain't heard that in so long.
That's wild.
Yeah, I ain't heard that.
They still use it in different programs. They still use different methods of it. Yeah.
Modify your behavior. All right, where we at?
It's giving you some techniques, which is
Okay.
stretching, diaphragmatic breathing.
Let me show y'all.
Close your eyes. Think of a calm scene.
Yeah.
Put some soft music on
Meditation.
without any interruption.
Mindfulness practice.
Okay, so and other mindfulness practices are helpful for handling stress. These gradually teach your physical body not to overreact to stress and how to calm down when stress shows up. Cognitive behavioral therapy can also help.
I love cognitive because it deals with the mind. I'm actually want to do something, talk about that too one day. But she said you have to, these gradually teach your physical body. That's important because you could train your body. Your body can tell you what to do sometimes, but if you properly train your body. I was just talking about that to Craig. I said, man, I was out on break, and I know that I was fasting today, but all through the whole time I was out on break, my body was like, double cheeseburger with bacon. And I'm sitting there like, no. Discipline, yeah, that's what I was saying. And I said I love a lot of things about fasting. When I do fast, if you ever do it, one of the things I love the most one of the things that I love about fasting is the discipline that it takes to do it. Because my body was saying, burger, you right here, they got them on sale, get you, double it up.
A biggie bag.
And get you a Diet Coke so your conscience will be clear. So, your physical body, you have to teach your physical body. That's very important when you're talking about your environment. And you can have stress from your body telling you to put something in it, even when you're trying to deny it from something. The purpose of that is you training and teaching your body what to do and not let your body tell you what to do. You control it. Mind over matter. The next one is your recovery environment needs to be healthier. Addiction causes stress, is also perpetuated by an unhealthy lifestyle. Maintaining, I can't even read, I got that word right now, I'm stuck. Maintaining a good diet and getting 8 hours of sleep will significantly reduce the stress in your life. I'm going to read it over because I can say that word. Listen, addiction causes stress is also perpetuated by an unhealthy lifestyle. Listen, we here at Capital Recovery Center, we deal with not just the substance, but we talk about trying to eat healthy and, we need to work on different habits and different things like that. That's why we say come out and walk with us. Come out and walk with us. Even though you might not be able to do the exercise that you used to do, everybody can walk prayerfully. Come out and walk. Maintain a good diet and getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep will significantly reduce stress in your life. Get some good night's sleep. I probably don't sleep. I go to sleep early, but I get up early. I go to sleep real early and I get up early.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise, good.
No, I was about to say, early bird catch the worm. Go ahead.
Exercise is excellent for promoting health and reducing stress. I can say that again. Exercise is excellent for promoting health and reducing stress. It releases, what's that word? Endorphins into the body, which relieve physical and emotional pain that can lead to addiction. It can also help reverse changes done to the brain by addiction. You see that? Man. It says exercise can reverse changes that was done by addiction to the brain.
And what it releases?
Endorphins. You told me.
No, I ain't saying that.
You didn't tell me that word. Yo, endorphins. Listen, you exercise can reverse or change. That's a good one, man. It can help reverse changes done to the brain by addiction. Come on now. Remember we talked about how addiction done something to your brain earlier. Yeah. And it says exercise is one of the things that you can use that can help reverse changes done to the brain by addiction. Exercise. All right, let's roll.
All right. And so it says your recovery environment needs to be more supportive. Restructuring your recovery environment also means reorganizing the relationships in your life. As you create your new normal, your life needs to change completely. And the friends and family you keep in your life need to be understanding of that. This will be extremely hard to accomplish if you don't tell anyone. Find one or a few close loved ones you can confide in. This too, okay. It's easier to make big changes in your life if those close to you understand what you're going through. If you don't have anyone close to you, anyone close to you can tell, you must join a 12-step program or recovery support group and form close relationships with other recovering addicts there.
Like this group.
Right.
It says it's easier to make big changes in your life if those close to you understand what you're doing. This is important. So a lot of times you have to understand that some of your loved ones might not understand what you are going through. So you need to connect them to different resources and services that can educate not only the person that's going through something, but be able to educate the individual loved ones. Because some of them, we might feel as though that they don't really care, but honestly, they truly care. They just don't understand what you're going through. So you need to have them educated. And that's why family sessions, I believe, are one of the important things to have for a client or participant or recovery, whatever terminology you use at your agency or wherever. But I think family sessions is very important.
I agree. All right. So also you must eliminate any relationships that are a bad influence or hinder your recovery. You may have friends who enable your addiction or use with you. If they won't be understanding and supportive of your recovery, associating with them will only incite you to relapse. So basically, get rid of old baggage. You know, people that hang on to you, those who whisper in your ear and say, "Come on, let's do this, let's do that." Listen, get rid of them. Cut them loose like Bruce. You know, let them go. You know, because they don't mean you no good. Even if it ain't friends. Say if you get into a relationship with a female or a male, and you are working on your recovery, and they still lagging.
Yeah.
You know, you got to cut the cord.
It's not time for it right now. You got to go with people or try to have individuals in your recovery environment who is headed in the same direction you're going.
Mm-hmm. If the friend is recovering with you, it's still a bad idea to meet with them unless accompanied by non-addict friends or family. Unless you are completely, unwaveringly recovered, it's not a good idea to meet with other recovering addicts except in a group setting.
And with that, let's go to. Oh, you gonna go?
Your the last one.
Yeah.
Your recovery environment may need to be elsewhere. In many cases, the only way recovery is possible is by changing your location. For example, 15% of U.S. soldiers in the Vietnam War were addicted to heroin.
Wow.
Once they were rehabilitated and sent home, only 5% relapsed into the addiction within the first year and only 12% after 3 years. That may be the highest success rate of addiction treatment ever recorded. What made it so successful? They were physically removed from their addiction environment and were replaced into a radically different recovery environment. They went from Vietnam to America, a foreign land to their homestead, a hostile environment to safety, wartime to peace. Nothing in their life was the same, so there was no reason for their previous lifestyle to stay with them either. It's the perfect metaphor for how radically different your recovery environment must be from your addiction environment.
Nothing in their life was the same, she said, so there was no reason for their previous lifestyle to stay with them. Woohoo! I'm tweeting that right when I get off this video. Nothing in my life is the same, so there was no reason for my previous lifestyle to stay with me. That's period.
Right. People, places, and things.
People, places, and things. You did good with that one. Woo-hoo-hoo. But it also teaches a literal lesson. Completely changing locations will help you avoid your old addictive lifestyle and start your new life of recovery. However, it may be very difficult or impossible for most addicts to abandon their current life and move to a new city. Fortunately, many rehabilitation centers offer inpatient treatment. With inpatient treatment, you are treated at a facility away from your home and usually life situations. This is a very effective way of using relocation to aid the recovery process.
Wow.
That's good stuff right there, man.
But there should be like some type of program that allows a person to relocate.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if there is one or
But
not.
it should be one to be if you find a treatment outside of your comfort zone, like find out outside the state,
Yeah.
like yeah,
So
they got some.
right. It'd be a good suggestion for those who coming out of treatment to relocate if they choose, if they can't afford to relocate. They sober living outside of the community where they're coming from.
Because sometimes relocation is good. Because although no matter where you go, drugs will be, but relocating gives you at least an opportunity to maintain your sobriety by relocating. I had to actually relocate. Every time I would come from a program and I would go to Atlantic City, where I'm originally from, born and raised in Atlantic City. Whenever I get to Atlantic City, I have no idea why, but I would go right back to my comfort zone. When I relocated, I eventually relapsed, but it was a while before I relapsed because I relocated. I gave myself the opportunity. That might be you as well. So you might have to pull it off like that.
Yeah. And for me, I relocated as well. Coming from Newark, New Jersey, Essex County, big city.
Came down here terrorizing our territory.
Only thing I found good about relocating, like the article mentioned, is that you meet new friends, you meet new people. You don't know the lay of the land, and so if you're serious about your recovery, you ain't gonna try to go look for. But if you fall and slip, we are here at Capital Recovery Center. My name is Craig. I'm a recovery coach.
My name is Michael. I'm one of the recovery coaches.
And I'm Karen.
And we are here for you. Don't forget about the walk, Friday, 11 a.m., downtown Bristol, New Jersey. It's for alcohol. We just want to support people who have been delivered from it or overcame it or are currently still struggling. And come join us. Wear your purple. Take some pictures. Put some purple pictures up wearing your purple.
Invite somebody.
Invite somebody, yeah. And if you can't come, give us a call. FaceTime Craig, his number, 856-506-1573. That's my number. Hey, we love you guys, man. We see you guys next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Coffee and conversation. See you later.
Thank you guys.
Good stuff as always.